Okay, in this video, we're going to do another part of the Websites tab. Of course, we're talking about the Websites tab over here in the left menu. This module, you click here, you'll come to this page. In the last video, we went through not only setting up a new project, which would be a new website, but we also talked about a little bit on how to edit a website once you have one set up. Now what we're going to talk about is getting your custom domains connected, because if you have a website set up and you don't have a custom domain, which I highly recommend if you're going to do any kind of marketing at any regular interval, you're going to need to have a custom URL, a custom domain for your website, mycompany.com, mycompany.net, .org, what have you. You're going to need that. If you don't have that, it's going to be difficult for people to really take you seriously. Now, doesn't mean people won't take you seriously, because some people don't care about the URL. But if you're doing things at a higher level, I would recommend that you do custom domains. If you don't, that's fine. We have several generic domain hosting websites you can connect a domain to. And it's certainly fine. It's not branded to SpecklFlow or anything. So with that, we'll go up here to the top. We're in Systems Design now. This is where we were when we first started. And then you can go up here to Connected Domains. You click on Connected Domains, and you will see in this test account we don't have any domains that are set up. But I'm going to show you how to set that up now. And we're going to do a couple different things to do this. So you can click on Add Domain here, and it's going to ask you if you want to add a domain from our free site addresses, or if you want to do a custom domain. Now, I would actually recommend doing a custom domain. So if you clicked over here, if you already purchased your domain, you would then put in that domain here. And let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do as we do this, I'm going to share my screen. An example from Namecheap. We use Namecheap for all of our domains. And as you can see here, I've got a URL that I have acquired called agencytopics.com. And right now, I am in the advanced DNS section. Now, if you're not using Namecheap, you're using GoDaddy or some other service, the things I'm talking about will be similar, but it won't be exactly the same, because GoDaddy uses a slightly different way to name these columns. But if you're doing this for the first time, I recommend Namecheap anyway. But that said, what you want to do is, this is the agency topics is the URL. So I'm going to stick that in here. URL is called agency topics. And then I would click next. And then what I would do, and you want to select what you want to do with this web hosting. So if you want to send email through that same URL, then you would select this also. Checkbox here. If you don't want to use email through that particular domain, then you can just leave that unchecked. Now, you need to have website hosting one way or the other. And so we can set up your hosting for the domain that you're setting up. Now, because we're not doing email on this one, well, actually, we'll just do it. It'll be easy to show you what to do for both. So let's just select that for that, and let's go next. So we're doing hosting and we're doing email for this URL that we're just setting up. Do you want to supercharge your website with the fastest network? Of course you do. You always want to do the supercharged, super fast website. Now, you wait for it to start doing what it does, And then it's going to tell you some instructions once it's finished. And there we go. Okay, so now you have to update your DNS settings with your domain provider. Now, my domain provider that I just showed you on my screen here was Namecheap. So you want to go into Namecheap and you want to add in these elements into Namecheap. Now, you'll notice here that there is an EM5671 thing going on here. This is why you need this in here to be able to send emails. And that's why that's in here, as well as this other email domain key. Both of these, 1 and 2 domain keys are in here. Now, so what you want to do is go into, let's say, Namecheap, and you want to add in those very things here. So you would come in here and add an A record. This is not an A record, it's a C name, but very easily just add a record here, and it's an A record. And the reason why you know it's an A record because it says type here. The type is A or C name. So you come in, you take the A record, you add that, and then it's going to ask you for the host. Now you can see here that the name there is the same as host here. So host and name is the same. So you would put the @ symbol there based on this A record, the @ symbol, and then you want to, and you can actually click these little copy buttons here. So you can click that and it says content copied, and you can go right over to here, click in this IP address space, and you can do paste, and it puts in the A record. And then you would just click the checkbox. Now, I'm not going to click the checkbox at this point because it's going to actually create the record. And I don't want to create the record for this URL because this URL is specific for another project that I don't want to pull into this and then have to delete it. But you would do that exact same thing for each one of these. You would click on the CNAME record, which would be here. You would add a new record, and you can go down here and you can scroll down and see CNAME record. You click that, and then that's going to ask for the host and value, and you can just keep this over here automatic. I usually do. And you can see what the host and name is the same. So whatever is in that name column here goes into the host column here, and whatever is in the value column here is going to go in this value column here. So if it's a CNAME record, that's what would happen. You can see it's either A record or CNAME record. And when you've done all that, once you've put all these into Namecheap or whatever the service provider is, then you click verify I have added these records correctly, and you can just click that. Now, it usually takes, for a new website or new URL that you just acquired, it usually takes about an hour or two for these things to come up great. And what you can do is you click that. Now, of course, it's going to say, no, it's not verified because I didn't actually put them all in. But what it will do, it will create a line item here, and I'll show you what it's going to be. See, and it says it's going to take up to 24 hours for this to update. And while it's setting up the domain to be ready to be used, because this is what happens here, it allows this to be used inside your system here. Okay, and then you click finished. Now, what will happen is you'll see that we've got agencytopics.com, and it has web hosting. It's waiting to verify that, and email. It's waiting to verify that. When you click this button, it will automatically do a quick check to see, but normally it will just automatically update itself once it does its own periodic checks. You can check back and find out if your connected domain has been connected, and also your settings are correct for your email sending. And that's how you do the connected domains for doing and then once you have this domain in place and the hosting's correct and the email's correct, specifically the hosting's correct, once you're in your websites, you can actually select this as when you go to publish. You can select this as an option, and whatever site you're working on, you can select the URL that you have here as the URL for that option, or for that website rather. All right, that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one.